for coming in tonight on Stella Girls Radio Podcast. Tonight, I have the phenomenal Miss Janine Mitchell of New Approach Media, y'all. I'm so excited to have her here with me tonight. She's going to give me a little bit about what she does, how she got there, and what she's going to be going through going forward. So, Miss Janine, with your New Approach Media TV, tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it came through an idea. I'm a hairstylist by trade.
Girl, come on.
So I'm a cosmetologist, and it was birthed out of just listening to people all the time. I like to hear stories. Sometimes I gave advice, but even though I, spent a lot of time trying to make the outer appearance look good, I felt that it was definitely a need to do something on the inside.
Yeah.
And it's something that made me understand that early on in my career. But so it was kind of birthed out of that. I like hearing stories. I like empowering people, impacting people, and providing hope.
Oh, right. That's awesome. I feel you on that, because sometimes we never know the words that we have for somebody, or just in general. Like when people ask me what my numbers are, I said my numbers don't matter to me as long as I saved or helped somebody with the word.
Exactly.
It's all that matters. So with what you're saying, are you in a location of where you are, and talk about some of your stations and stuff in your.
Okay, so I have a syndicated talk show that's aired every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. on the Daily Gospel Network. So, you also can, see it in different time zones as well. So, the name of the show is the New Approach Show, but it's broadcasted on the Daily Gospel Network. So I'm on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Then I also have my YouTube channel.
Okay, so when you do your show in the gospel show, are you doing videos? Are you giving the word? What all does that consist of?
Well, okay, so I select people. So New Approach is kind of like a nonprofit organization, but New Approach selects extraordinary men and women to share their stories of how they overcame insurmountable odds. New Approach also creates a platform for them to market their business, product, or service through the broadcasted videos. So what I do is, like, if they have a business, a service, or a gift, you know what I mean, they can use my platform to market that. But I do need them to somehow inspire the viewing audience or whoever's tuning in to watch this program.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and that was the other part that I was going to ask. So you sort of kind of answered it all at one time. And some of the things that we do and how we connected. What made you reach out to Stella Girl? How did that come out?
Yes. So I'm on Alignable, and you were on Alignable, and I kind of watched your podcast, and I was really intrigued, and I felt like we had some similarities in what we do and in our vision of what we do, and so that's why I was drawn to you.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute. What'd she say?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm honored that you decided to reach out to me, because in networking and what we do, we learn from each other regardless of what we do. So our platforms can be the same, but our delivery can be something totally different. A lot of people don't understand that, and I had a couple of people that was asking me that. It was like, I don't even know if we compatible. We not dating. What do you mean?
Right.
I wanted to ask the question of, they reached out to me and said that they wanted to come on the show. Let's do it. And they was in another state, and I was like, okay, cool. That's great. And then all of a sudden it was like, well, I don't know if we're going to be compatible enough. But wait, you said you are a relationship and life coach, right? So if you are a relationship life coach, then it doesn't matter unless you just want it from the guy's point of view.
Okay.
So I Help me with that.
Right.
I mean, do you get
Make
what
it make
I'm
sense.
saying?
I don't.
Yeah. Because I didn't understand that, because how can we get a true understanding? Because men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Mm-hmm. We do not think alike whatsoever. We may
True.
get on the same page, but how we got there is going to be different.
True.
So I didn't understand what did he think. I was confused on
Right.
that one, on what he meant.
Well, I did have one time. I had someone that I was interested in, so I did kind of do like a screening to see if the person's belief system. Because if you're an atheist, and I like to sometimes talk about scripture, and I need to know that you're not with some other gods and stuff like that. So I could understand that part of it, but I don't really know where he was going with that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. And as you asked me as well, what questions you gonna ask me? And I told him, I said, well, I'm like a free flow spirit type person. I need you to fill out my questionnaire in order for me to even give you questions, because I don't have standard questions that I ask to each individual person, except for how did you get where you are?
Right.
what made you do it?
Right.
So I just didn't understand that concept. But I have another young man. I'm saying it to you, Mr. Jamal. I'm saying it to you. I already know. I'm letting you know. I'm putting you on blast, sir. I'm putting you on blast. He's out of Texas, and he also is a relationship coach. And him and I are gonna put something together. I really, really, really like his concept, and we bounce off each other very well. And that's what I've been looking for, is somebody that's not afraid to talk, not afraid to be matter of fact. Because like I say, I'm a transparent woman with an opinion with no judgment.
Okay.
So the thing about it is that if we want to be clear, we have to be transparent. We can't stand over here and hide something and talk about what we want to do, but don't want to give all the information.
Right. True.
So, how do your clients come with their products or for them to promote? How do you do a full show with them? Or how exactly does that work for you?
Okay, so like the first half, I may have them I kind of announce them and all their credits of what they do, and then kind of get into what they do, what kind of product or service that they have, and then the second part, I may say, okay, I want to get a little bit more personal, and I'll have questions centered around that. But again, I want them to come on they have to have something where they've overcame insurmountable odds, something that can also provide hope, and somehow, something that they overcame something, because I want the people that's watching to be empowered, and impacted in a positive way. And then also, I feel like, it depends on the person. I want them to be informed. Sometimes it's some education behind. I have some of my guests, they may be a specialist in some area. And so it's, and then sometimes I might just go with the flow, and it's just like flowing. And like you said, sometimes everything is not just reading a paper. You have to let the flow happen.
Right, exactly. So when you decide to invite, and you was talking about you have a regular show. So in having the show, sometimes are you looking for an audience? And I mean in-person audience, or it's all online?
Well, originally the idea started with me wanting to go into a studio, that, sitting in a chair like Oprah, some of the greats, that was my idea at first. But when the pandemic hit, I don't know, I felt like I got more pushed into doing the whole Zoom platform, and it's been working for me. And then it kind of opened my scope of not just being in Ohio. Like you said, you get people, I follow, it's called Podcast Guest. I don't know if you ever
No, I haven't
been
heard
on that website.
I don't know why I was about to say I haven't heard. I heard about it when I was in media school.
Okay.
I heard about it. I had not. Now that you mentioned it, I hadn't reached back out to even look at it and but
Yeah, so
enlighten.
yes, absolutely. So I was introduced to the podcast guest. And so basically, I read their profile, I send an invitation, and if they accept, and then, they'll reach back through you through email, and then you can set it up that way. And then I noticed that I like the idea that I was meeting people from all over in different states.
Right.
So,
And it's funny because I feel the same way. I had my friend who moved to Lagos, Africa, and we did a Zoom. Man, when I tell you, that was just the most awesome thing ever. And she was talking about how they, come through the gateway. She has a service of teaching people how to come and marry, how to move if they decide they want to move, the real estate game, I was sitting there intrigued. I was like, okay, so what do I need to do?
Right.
With this. But it really makes such a big difference in
it's a universal type
right. It's
impact.
like you have no boundaries versus because I felt the same way. I wanted an in studio. I wanted a audience. We gonna go to the Stella Girl show. We gonna do blah blah blah. But it's like when you see the bigger picture.
Yes.
The smaller camera is the better way of doing things. It's a lot more personable.
Yes.
And we get the opportunity to do a lot of other different things. So what are some of the future things that you plan on doing next?
Well, okay, so then I have New Approach Media,
Okay.
LLC.
Okay.
And then I recently was hosting a fundraiser event, and that was my first time doing that. I was invited to do it, and I was like, that opened up an idea of just kind of like taking my whole, communication type, journalism type platform, So basically, I kind of like hosted the event. It was for a political party. A person was running for judge for Garfield Heights. And that just, to me, that opened the door for some other opportunities. And then I go into the community as just to kind of give back to the community, and I highlight organizations and businesses that are giving back to the community. And I highlight them on my platform as well. But I also offer sponsorships with the New Approach show. Like people might want to have their, I do commercials. So I can actually have a commercial to help people's brand. You know what I mean? I recently did a voiceover. So everything that's all communication, broadcasting, I'm open to it.
My sister, come on, girl. Yeah. So when you do some of your commercials or whatever, do you do actors per se, like outside and stuff like that with the camera and all of that, or you do or just one inside?
Well, I have a team. So basically I, get information that I need to submit to my client, and they will kind of fill out this questionnaire. And then my editing team sends over some ideas, and they have someone actually doing a voiceover. And I think it usually lasts it's less than 13 seconds or something. It's a really short snippet, but it's just enough, to promote whatever it is that needs to be promoted.
Right.
And so I actually had someone that was a guest, and I reached out to her and, asked her, she had a, what is it called? It's like people that are having like crisis, you know what I mean? And it's like a center, and she's had these different centers to help people with depression and stuff like that. So she told me her idea, what she wanted, you know what I mean? Plus she had already had like some of her logo, and then we took it from there. And then, I asked her how she felt about it. So I gave her an idea, what they had put together, and she was satisfied. Awesome. So now that's on her website.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man. It's good. Because there's nothing like being able to give someone, their vision on what it is, not your vision. You know what they said to you.
Yes.
But for you to turn it around and for it to be what you wanted instead of what they wanted, and for them to be satisfied with it is such an awesome feeling. And the other thing,
can I also mention that, like, when I'm having my program, sometime during the program, I will have, say they had a business and they can have a little snippet of their commercial. It has to be within the guidelines of the seconds. Or they can have like a banner that can flash up during the course of the interview. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then so whenever time my platform is aired, you know what I mean, or my program is aired, then it flashes up and then you get a chance to see that. So that's what I mean by sponsorships. And so it could be, a week, it could be a month, you know what I mean? And we just discuss, the pricing for that.
That's awesome.
But when I have people, if I ask someone to come on, I usually that's just because I enjoy what they do. I want to highlight what they do. I believe in what they do, and I want to get that information out to the public.
Yes, definitely. And I understand that because I feel the same way.
Yes.
I had a show called Merchandise Mondays, and that was the same thing. It was like a pilot per se. And people fail to realize we have a lot of entrepreneur people that are out here that has tons of services that are available to them that really makes a difference. Somebody that's right around the corner could be a stump remover that you needed from the storm or something, but you didn't know that because nobody ever promoted them, or they don't have that truck with the big name across the thing across there. So I totally and completely agree with you about doing things of that nature, because there's nothing like promoting somebody that you saw, you believe in them, you like their concept. It's just great. So some of the events that you do, like just when you was talking about the political thing, how do that come about? Do you approach them when you see stuff coming
actually,
up?
She's a friend of mine, and she's actually a lawyer, and we just been friends, and we served in the same alongside ministries together at the church that I am a member of. And
feel free to shout them out if you want to.
A New Spirit Revival Center, Dr. Durrell and Dr. Belinda Scott.
All right.
So yeah, and so like when she was serving there, and I was introduced to her, and we just kind of kept a long going relationship over the years, and so she just decided she wanted to run for Garfield Heights Municipal Court Judge, and she came up with the idea. I think God told her, I think you should be the person that's the host. So I was really honored.
That's awesome. So how was that jitter feeling before you took your foot on the platform?
Well, I mean, she had given me what she wanted to say. I mean, I usually have my own thing what to say, and I just did practice, and and just realize that I have all what I need. Don't worry, you know what I mean? Just kind of smile my way through the nerves. And it happened.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Smiling helps a lot.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And don't nobody have no idea what you're going through on the inside with the smile on your face. So this is something I sort of think that I asked, but I wasn't sure. It says, do you employ actors or actresses for your commercials or for your gospel shows? Things of that nature?
Okay, so when I was talking about the editing team, they have all that. Like they have whatever resources that they go to help. They have someone doing voiceover for them. They have the videos, and you know what I mean, like videos. So there are actors and actresses that are kind of that are part of this, and then they put the music to it, and so yeah, my editing team is what is responsible for that.
That's awesome. Do they have a company name as well?
Well, George, his name is George. He's the owner of the Daily Gospel Network, and he actually has his own talk show coming out. And then also, so yeah, if you wanted more information for the Daily Gospel Network, and if someone is interested in perhaps starting their own podcast, I mean, he has courses that he is currently, I think they're free right now, that they can actually log on StreamYard and learn through his courses of how to start a podcast, or even if you want to be a guest, you know what I mean? He has his platform for that too.
All right. Well, the main part of this is that again, I'm honored that you reached out to me.
I'm honored to have that you have me out on here.
And I enjoy when whatever that I do allows people to see themselves doing the same, or what they already are doing, it that you're on the right track. Because when I came to KAZ Radio TV Network, I was green. I didn't even know what a podcast was. I heard of it, but I did not know what to do. And Pastor Larry James has led me down this path of podcasting, and has allowed me to basically create, just create,
Yes.
Then I went to Ohio Media School to sort of kind of sharpen my tools a little bit. And again, it's just the fact of having the freedom to create and bring people in,
Yes.
and allow them to be themselves on this platform, on many platforms, and for us to be able to share our services with other people. And anytime you feel like you want me to be with you someplace.
Oh, yes. I collaborate.
Yeah.
I do.
It's like you want me to show up somewhere, I have no problem showing up.
And you as well.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I have to say, we here at KZ TV Radio Network, basically we have this platform, and I'm honored to be on this platform because I didn't know what to do. I didn't have the guidance. All I knew is I run my mouth.
Right.
That's all I
Right.
knew.
Right.
I didn't know what the rules were. I didn't know how to decide what to say, what not to say. I just didn't want to look a hot mess
Right.
on here,
Exactly.
talking crazy and all this other stuff. And,
Right. I understand.
But that wasn't me in the first place. But some people can fall into doing what everybody else is doing. And then when you're doing what everybody else is doing, there's no uniqueness about you. And so all the celebrity mess, the street mess, the news mess, the politics mess,
Right.
and everybody loved the mess. And it was
Right.
like, why? But there's room for that, evidently. So I just don't want to be part of that.
Yeah, and I want to be, and I think you understand it too. You want to be a part of positive media.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because they already got that platform. That's already covered.
Right.
I believe that we have following because people do want to hear something positive.
Yes.
And that you dragging somebody. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's how I felt like was given to me. I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna give what's needed.
Right. Right. That's the girl. You better come on. You better come on. But that's the best part. I started using my platform also for traveling. When I travel, I do a podcast when I'm out somewhere or whatever, and I stream live.
Yes.
Because people just don't want to see you in a box.
Yes.
They want to see other stuff. They want to see what all you're doing. So, what is one of the major events that you have coming up that you just want out there? What is it that you really want to?
Well, I'm
get
working
out
on
there?
a cooking show.
Oh, girl, come on now.
I'm working on a cooking show, and I wanted to be in person. And the person who I have in mind, she's not really a chef, but God has kind of led her on the path of creating foods and, like healthy foods and foods that kind of heal and, kind of contribute to a lifestyle of healing and, having a better lifestyle, physical health, you know what I mean? So her father was ill, and, I don't remember his sickness or his illness, but through food and just getting him to eat the right type of foods, like it just helped his health turn around completely.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And so I guess, and she said, I might even be emotional about it because, it's just so dear to her heart that God used her in that way, to help his health get better.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that, mean, she has a Airbnb, and I just want it to be really nice, and then somebody to be impacted. And then there's also food that we get a chance to eat and taste.
Yeah, eat the taste of food,
so she got a chance to market that, because
Yeah.
she's got a lot of contracts, doing a lot of big things, and so that's what I'm looking forward to coming up soon.
I hope we can get in. You see, I'm saying we can get in her schedule. So I like to try food.
You said I eat.
I'll eat. I'll try that. Yeah. And that's what's great. And so is her Airbnb here in the city, or
It's not like hers. She's actually someone, she's kind of bartering with this individual who has an Airbnb. And he is allowing her to use it to do her show. I mean, to do her, whatever event that she wants to hold there.
Okay, girl.
Yeah.
You giving me some ideas on top of ideas on top of that. So a lot of times with things like that, to expand that, I think after we spoke. I reached out to a couple of people on that note, but of course they took it. They ran in a different direction than what I was trying to show them what I was looking at and how I wanted to do it. Because as your person is not a chef, she still had a story.
Yes.
I want the story on why you're cooking, or either you done cooked the food and now you're plating it for us and you're telling us this story. And I don't think that they received it that way. It was more about the cost of making the food and all of that, which that wasn't even what my delivery was supposed to make. But most people are in that frame of mind. So you have to sort of kind of understand people don't receive what you're saying because they have their own concept on what they think what you're saying. So after a while, they reached back out to me and said, let's do it, But I understand what you're saying, but I have to get you to understand what it is that I want, because I don't think you got what I was asking.
Right. You didn't catch the vision.
You didn't catch the vision at all. And I don't blame them for that. I don't blame them for that. But it's more so when people are business and business only, they only see the business. They don't see the heart part. So it's like I have a business. My business is my time. My food is my money. So who's going to pay for this? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? No, I understand that, but listen to the concept first, and we'll get to that.
Right.
So, yeah, because
you have to sacrifice. You have to invest in yourself. So that's part of investing if you have to buy the food.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this person is a renowned chef here in town, and I don't have a problem.
I mean, was he going to have other people taste it, or
no?
How many people he think was going to show up?
I don't know, but it was like when I made the statement, he just took off. It was like, do you know how much an intimate dinner costs? Do you understand that when you do seafood? Do you understand when and I was like, okay, I get that, but that's not what I asked you. That's not what I asked you. So,
the bigger picture. You're not looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You're worried about cost, but this is trying to help you with your brand.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. He doesn't need help.
Okay.
So for that person, they don't need help. They already are renowned. Okay. So, but the thing of it is that before you became that, is the story.
Right.
You want the story. I want the story.
Okay.
I don't care about where you are now. I want to understand what made you start cooking. Okay, I was with my grandmama and my grandmama. But whatever the story may be, you could have been a down in the dump crackhead. You could have been doing all kinds of stuff, went to jail 50 million years. All kinds of stuff could have happened. But at the end of the day, what really turned everything around, we already know what does it. But at the same time, we would like to know when you really figured it out that this is what you was going to do and this was going to be your life. This was going to be literally your bread and butter. So that's part of the things that I like. I like sitting down with people and asking them, how did you get here? What is it that really makes you want to do what you do. So with that being said, that's what I agree with you. She would be an excellent person to do all that with, and sit down and we gonna eat these pinto beans and cornbread.
Yes.
We gonna eat. But that's the main part of how I like to talk with people and understand where they are. So what questions do you have, Miss Janine?
Well, how long have you been doing your podcast and your programs?
I started my program in 2021 is when I first got started. My husband passed away in March of 2021. And I didn't know what exactly the direction I was going to go in. But I also had been doing like FaceTime and stuff on Facebook because I sold Mary Kay products. Well, maybe I can I say that? I don't know, but I'm saying it. I was a Mary Kay consultant, and I used to do skincare things online. I used to take my eye makeup. I had this thing called my favorite Mary Kay product. This week, it's eye makeup remover. And I would take all my makeup off. Y'all see how this go, And I just kept doing that. And I was doing that way before the pandemic, way before they even wanted us to use social media for selling products or, allowing our customers to see us and broaden that. Because a lot of Black people did not want to buy here in Cleveland, I should say. In most of my circles, they didn't want to buy Mary Kay products.
Yes.
I'm MAC, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, that's cool, but how do you take it off? I just take it off with soap and water. I said, do you know you drying your skin out? I just went through the whole thing of trying to make them think versus me trying to think that I'm trying to sell you something. I'm trying to educate
about skincare.
you. Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to explain to you how to take care of your skin so that MAC will look great without lumps and bumps.
Right.
So yeah.
Yes.
And then it sort of kind of evolved, like you said, when the pandemic came, it was like, okay, we can't go to nobody's house. Ain't no parties going on. We can't go and deliver products to people. We had a delivery service, which mine just kept going at that time. And it just sort of kind of got, after he passed away, it was more so of, I had a couple of people reach out to me regarding a radio show, but there were strings attached. So then my good friend, JT, Johnny Turner, DJ No Request, he was like, well, why don't you do a podcast? And I said, because I don't know how to do a podcast. I don't know how to even get started with it. I have no equipment. I don't know what to do. He said, well, I'm going to set up a meeting for you, and we're going to go from there. I came to KZ TV Radio TV Network. And then come to find out the owner was still the owner from when my daughter worked here. They used to do recording of church services around the city, and she worked for him doing camera work and stuff like that. And I had heard his name several times, but I had never seen his face. And then it was like, ta-da! And we've been together ever since. I stopped my podcast when I went to media school last year because I just wanted to focus. And but now I'm just like really wanting to take Stella Girl Enterprise, and I just go everywhere. I just do everything that I could possibly do. I too do commercials for people, post them. I do promotion, put them on social media. 2 weeks prior to the event, you want me at the event, I'm at the event. I'm doing it live. Whatever it is that you feel that you need for your event, I'm available. So. But I really enjoy it. I just like when people feel comfortable sitting next to me and just spilling it, because I'm transparent. You ask me what you want to ask me, and now I'm not gonna put you in a predicament where you feel uncomfortable in your seat.
Yes.
It's just not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next
Yes.
question. Come on, Greg.
Next question. Do you feel like media school really helped you, or do you feel like you already had a gift of communication or a gift of what you do?
Very good question. Well, when I went to media school, I already had the gift. I just wanted to sharpen my tools because I felt that it was more to podcasting than me just sitting here talking. So I wanted to be able to edit. I wanted to see more of the different things that I could do. And then when we started doing like movie clips and stuff like that, that was fun. Again, being behind the camera is okay. I'm very good with being behind the phone versus the actual camera because I don't have a problem with it. It's more so of really being able to dig in and give the effects and things of that nature. The person that really did the most, that we did the most together at the end was hashtag dope photography. That he still, even though he came into school after me, he is still a mentor. He'll be like, Stella, stop putting your hand up. When you interviewing people, keep their hands still, because I talk with my hands, and keep your hands still. Don't do so and so, you know. And I just enjoy his directorship. You know, he's very good at what he does. And he has helped me, still calls me, still checks to make sure we got this going on, we got auditions going on, we need you here, we need you there, you know, that type of thing. So Ohio Media School really helped, but it helps you understand where you are. Either you are above the grade and you just need a little bit more, or you're at that point where you can learn the basic stuff and try to bring yourself into it per se, because they put me in places I never would have been.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I did the NBA All-Star weekend at the media thing. I met Shaquille O'Neal. I got pictures. Even though they didn't put me there. My cousin set that up. But
you got people.
But it was like the most surreal beginning of 2022, that because I was in a dark place. I mean, I lost my husband. Regardless of what was going on with us, I adored that man. And for him to pass away suddenly, and it was like, okay, I know he wouldn't want me wallowing. Right. So I got myself together. I was like, Stella Girl is in true live in effect, and you're going to do what you need to do, because life goes on. You can't lay down. You got to keep standing. So that's how I continued on with the media, and I feel that this is my niche. This is I love it. I do. I love it.
So when you're going through those type of hard times and the tragedy of losing your husband, where did you pull your strength from?
Well, you know, we already know, you know, our beloved Father is always gonna have you, and you just have to understand that you have to trust and believe and lean. You know, you can't just feel like, why is this happening? Our lives were put forth before we was even here. It was already planned out. So once I understood that, and once I already know that I had to trust, it was more so of, okay, now it's left up to you to get up, because he don't want you laying here. Your husband don't want you laying here, you know, and you have something that you have to do. You still have your purpose, and you have to understand what your purpose is supposed to be. So, and this is funny, because somebody said something to me not too long ago. They said, you was inspiring people before your podcast.
See,
you was talking before your podcast.
Yes.
You know,
can I add to that?
Yes.
That's usually what happens. Like, there's glimpses of things that I believe, my journey. Yeah. There's glimpses in my life where I seen me doing things, or like I said, when I had customers laying down, they would just, or whatever type of service that I was giving them, they would just share so much. Because, they say, like, you might as well be, like a psychiatrist because but it's that getting them relaxed, they would share things, personal things,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Tragedies, triumphs and stuff like that. So, but I remember when I was going to Notre Dame College, and I remember my boss saying that I was a good communicator. So I started hearing little pieces of things. And I remember when I was going to try C in my speech class, the lady said, my professor at the time said I spoke eloquently. And stuff like that was like, kind of fueling me. Like, well, maybe I got something here. You know what I mean? Because usually, like I said, there are some things that you've done that you may do effortlessly that really is a gift. You don't even know. Sometimes you don't know what it is,
right.
But sometimes people tell you before you even know it.
Right.
That's been my journey.
Yes,
you start to like really pay attention. Like, you know what? I believe that they're onto something here.
Right.
You start believing yourself.
And for you to polish it, and for you to start believing it, because like
right.
you said,
you have to believe it.
Because we don't believe that it's a gift per se. Because we're doing it out of love and would do it for free, have done it for free.
Right.
And you're just getting to that point of saying, this is who I am. This is who I am. This is what I do. And I do it because, I love you. I love what I'm doing for you. Because when that person said that to me, it just brought me to tears because though people hear you and they listen, and the same vice versa, when you just be quiet and just let them just pour, that's the thing.
Yes.
That's the thing. And they know it's not going nowhere. They know their business isn't going anywhere. You're not gonna go and tell y'all know what happened.
Right.
This lady came in my store the other day and she did XYZ. Blah 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 blah. Why would I do somebody? Well, but you have some folk that would do that. That's the mess part that
right.
we was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
But I just love what I do. I really do. And like I said, if it's 6 p.m. over there in Africa and it's 10 o'clock in the morning and that's the time she can do it, then that's the time we're gonna do it. So I'm just very happy in it.
That's good.
I don't know.
You should be.
I don't know how long.
Yeah.
So I really, really, really like the relationship that we have put together here. And again, so
I
happy
well.
that you decided to come on the show. And I think something else will come down the line that we're going to collaborate on, because when I get back in town, I'm going to get busy for 2024. I have so many different things that are coming up next year. And I hope you'll be a part of it.
That'll be nice.
And I know KZ is going to be involved. They don't ever have a problem putting me on the air, and I appreciate it so very much. Well, the other thing is that where can your show be seen? Your websites and social media. I know you said a Roku and all of those, but what is your email address, phone numbers?
So my email address is newapproachmedia22@gmail.com. My website is www. How many
www. How many W's you got? That's
www.newapproachmediatv. mediatv.com. And again, I'm just going to say this again. It streams live every Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can type in the Daily Gospel Network, and then it'll pull up. It'll stream live. And then if you wanted to go to YouTube channel, you would search for New Approach Show with host Janine Mitchell. I'm also on Instagram. And again, Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire.
Okay, so on IG, are you just Nadine? Janine Mitchell, or do you have a handle on there as well? Or is
It's the
this
same.
Janine?
New Approach.
New Approach.
TV.
Okay, New Approach. TV.
New
Okay.
Approach.
Yeah.
TV.
So, are we almost to that hour point? Yeah, we did good.
Yeah.
So I really, 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 again, love the fact that you want to come on. When we get together again, I'm quite sure we're going to have a part 2, a part 3, part 4. This is more of an introduction of who you are. So when we get the opportunity to have a topic that we want to talk about, we'll come together and we'll discuss that topic, whether it's political. I'm not a political person, but I can throw my hat in the ring now. So, whatever topic that you want to talk about, we can do that there thing. Oh, please don't get loud on me. Okay, I thought my phone was up. Come on. I was like, no. So I just want to close this evening with just saying my eyes are to see you, my ears are to hear you, my shoulders are for you to lean, my arms are to hold you, and always my heart is to love you. Thank you again so very much. And Stella Starlights, I thank y'all again for coming in. I appreciate y'all, and y'all have a good night. Peace.